Welcome to Capture the Reps podcast, the podcast for fitness creatives by fitness creatives. Each episode, we will dive into techniques, strategies, and behind-the-scenes stories to help fast-track your career. Whether you're behind the camera or in front of it, this is the space to grow, create, and connect. Hit it, Sam.
I always like to start these conversations like a little bit of background about yourself. So,
okay,
I know you're in Charlotte, North Carolina.
I am. I'm in Charlotte. Yep, I'm originally from Northern Virginia area, DC, like 25 minutes outside of DC.
Okay.
Yeah,
I know we got our friend Ashley, our mutual friend there.
Oh yeah. Love Ashley.
She has sung your praises. So
yeah, she's really, really, really cool. Like one of those things that it's kind of dope because like it turned into like her just asking me like for some advice and information, and turned into like now she calls her Uncle Bruce. Like, so now it's like, we talk all the time. She messages me or sends me a voice note after every single comp, like how it went. We talk about it, like, how does this sound? I enjoyed it, didn't enjoy it, blah, blah, blah. It's just really cool to see her. And also to see her growth, like just from when she started. And like now she was like, I really want to do more stuff in CrossFit. Now I'm seeing her on floors. I'm seeing her travel everywhere. So it's really cool to witness. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Excited. And I see her in a week. So I see her soon.
Awesome. Yeah. What I really appreciate too is the fact that people like yourself that are very established, people know you and all that kind of stuff. And you're willing to first give your time, but also give your expertise, and if you can fast track someone's career to all this stuff, as far as like lessons learned and things like that. I mean, that's so invaluable to everyone,
Yeah, it's like, there's so many scenarios, like people will ask me questions, I'll answer them and they'll be like, really, you're just going to tell me? I'm like, yeah, like I don't really care, man. But I understand like for some unfortunate reason, people are gatekeepers a lot and they don't want to share things. There's enough for everyone to eat, so I just wish everyone kind of understood that. And I know when I was coming up, I definitely didn't have anyone I started 2012, 11, 12, something like that. So like there weren't that many shooters, and they weren't talking to each other. It's like there's that small crew, if you knew them. If not, yeah, that was it. So definitely a lot more of us now for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, you bring up a good point. There is so much to go around. I mean, I always look at it where like, if you pull up to a business park, right, you look around and there's 15 businesses, like there's always plenty of like work to go around. And just because you might not be a fit with someone, be a fit somewhere else. So it's like,
1000%. Like you said, there'll be 5 no's and then a yes. And like that yes made up for those 5 no's, right? So it doesn't really matter. Just gotta keep going forward.
So that origin story, you mentioned 2011, 2012.
Yeah.
Before that, like what really got you into camera work itself?
So originally I was so my dad, I'm gonna give it all to my dad. He was the guy, like if you go to our house, there's photo albums everywhere. Like those old school, like bookshelves of like photo albums. Right. And he was always, he just documented everything, like from my great grandparents all the way to, till I graduated, high school, going into college. Like there's still photos of me playing college baseball. Like he was always taking photos. And I think like seeing him do that and seeing how much it meant to me, seeing like the stuff I can look back on, I was always interested in photography. I don't know if like maybe it was just in me naturally. And then I was a personal trainer at LA Fitness for a long time. Yeah, LA Fitness, like Global Gym, whatever. But and I wanted to get into photography, so they bought me my first camera. And I started like doing photography of my like clients, like their, if they had a body transformation, or then there was, family photos and their keywords graduating high school. And then what happened is I used to work at a place called Max Muscle, which is like a nutritional supplement place in Wood, Virginia. And this guy would always drive by, and he owned a CrossFit gym. It's called CrossFit Woodbridge, like one of the first CrossFit gyms in that area. He was like, man, come check CrossFit. And I was like, dude, y'all are crazy. I don't know what y'all are doing in there. I was like, I'm not trying to go in there, lift heavy weight and then leave. Like, screw all that. Like, I'm fine doing my stuff. Anyway, went to Fight Going Bad competition and I saw it and I was like, oh man, this looks really, really cool. Joined it. And I saw the price and I was like, dude, I cannot afford to pay, for this. And I'm used to training for free. And I was like, well, look, I'll just provide you photos of the day, like for your social media and your website when you're announcing the WOD or whatever. And I was like, all right, cool. So I did that. And then I just fell in love with shooting cross from there. And I just kind of just started shooting competitions. And then I'm not gonna lie, when I moved to Charlotte, it just kind of just took off to another level. So that's kind of pretty much how I got into it. That's pretty much the origin story.
Yeah. And that's super cool that your dad was really involved in it. I'm sure. So like my dad had a camera too. And like, I always like gave him crap for it. I found it so annoying that he was taking like all these photos, like growing up. You kind of have that kind of vibe too.
One because I was like, God, like what, the camera again, like, and it was guaranteed. Like you knew he was gonna have it, and he'd always have it in your face, and like, but of course, I mean, as we get older, like, of course, we don't buy you that stuff when we're young. We're like, oh, this is so annoying, Dad. I don't want to take family photos, blah blah blah. I don't want to do this, do that, or smile, like no. And now, like, I'm so grateful he did all of it because I have stuff to look back on, that stuff I don't remember or stuff that will trigger memory sometimes. So it's really, I'm so grateful for that. And you're going to do it too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So you're definitely going to do it.
No, same as I'm feeling. I just remember like, I actually played baseball. You say you played baseball, right?
Yeah. I did. Yeah.
So, you know, I was like the only kid on the team where my dad was like obnoxiously like taking photos. Like he would stand up on the bleachers, right? And like take a photo over the and like I just like look over there and be like, but now I'm like so glad I have all those memories, you know, and so glad I had all that. And I think that speaks to a larger thing of like what we try to accomplish at least on a daily basis is capture memories for other people, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you never, I mean, I'm sure it happens to you too. Like the moments you experience will someone be like, you'll take a photo, you get posted somewhere and you'll get a random message. Like, I think I took a photo of, I was at like an autism, like event. And I just saw this guy walking with a little boy down these stairs, like onto the field. And I was like, oh, that looks like a cool moment. Reminds me of my dad, you know, playing baseball, blah, blah, blah. And the organization posted it. And this lady reached out to me. She was like, that was my dad and like my son walking down the field. And she was like, I will treasure this photo for the rest of my life. Like you have no idea how much this photo meant to me. And that's just us in a split of a second. Just decide we saw something that looks cool, kind of reminds me of something. And just like that, it just, you know, changes someone's life. So
no, it's super cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So like whenever you got that camera, was your dad like kind of diving into some like tips? Like, did you get a little coaching?
No, actually what's crazy is that like at that point, he wasn't really taking photos anymore. Like he wasn't really like, and I think it's one of the things where like the technology had like evolved so much that he just didn't keep up. So we kind of just fell off of it. So they didn't give me any tips. It was more of like, you could see that he was happy I was shooting though. Like he was really happy that I was doing something that also he loved to do. But long story short, he's shooting now. So, you know, once I started, you know, kind of getting my, you know, financially up there, I, you know, bought him a camera and now like he's shooting like his church events, like he's doing weddings and stuff. Like he's just out there having fun now. So it's really cool to see now.
Oh, that was awesome that you like brought it back around too.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
Super cool. Yeah.
Bought him a camera. I got him a couple lenses and a little bag. And so now he's calling me, he asks me for questions all the time. So it's really fun.
Oh, that's great. It's a good bonding experience, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
He's like, son, the photos are blurry. I was like, Dad, just turn up your shutter speed, Dad. Just come on, just crank it up. He's like, oh, okay, got you, son, got you.
Like it's like they're moving so fast. I didn't know what to do. And like, there's all this like blur. I don't know. Yeah. No, that's super fun. And like, you know, looking forward to, so, you know, you had that initial, you know, camera bought for you by your dad, you know, you're able to start dipping your toes into that. Fast forward, like how, obviously you now have your own business, very established, and you're popping up at competitions all the time, running media teams, all that kind of stuff. Like, how did you get to that phase? I guess the bigger question is like, what made you dive deeper and like want to continue? Like, was there something that like really stood out as far as like to get you to dive deeper?
I think, well, I'll tell you this, as I was, of course, I mean, as most of us, we are working like a full-time job before, you know, photography is a hobby at that point, right? We're just trying to shoot, you know, do different things. And I think it got to a point I wanted to dive deeper is that I started realizing that I was turning down jobs because I was working a corporate job and I couldn't do certain things. And I wasn't happy, going to my corporate job 9 to 5, doing that all the time. And there were traveling jobs that I was just like, I can't do it because I'm working. Or if I'd asked to get off, it was like, I felt guilty asking for, it off all the time. Because, and the thing about it, it's not like you can hide where you're going. Like, if you're on social media, people are like, oh, well, that's where he was, that's where he was when he wasn't working. I think what made me dive deeper is that, it's one of, I want to say it happened truly organically. It was, where I was located. I happened to come across Pamela Gagnon, the gymnastics, queen of CrossFit. But anyway, I started I'm going to date myself here. I'm talking, this is Craigslist, bro. I'm talking Craigslist ads. And I put a Craigslist ad out for, I was new to the area, just moved to Charlotte, trying to get in the fitness scene. Anyone looking for a photographer, I'd love to be, considered. So I started work. Someone called me, hired me to shoot the CrossFit Reebok Uptown back in the day. And Pamela Gagnon was there, other Masters Games athletes were there. And I started shooting that. And I think what triggered me to dive deeper into it, because I didn't know, that's when I was kind of exposed to, I guess, the world that this sport was bigger than just your local gyms, And I was like, oh, these people are traveling everywhere. They're competing. They're doing all this stuff. And I was like, wait, there's stuff going on in other states. It's not just here. It's, nationwide. And so I think I started posting, and then brands started reaching out to me oh, so-and-so. Oh, how close is so-and-so to you? And I was like, oh, well, they're kind of close. I mean, I see them every now and then. Would you be interested in, and then when that kind of happens and you start realizing that, I don't know if you feel like this, when you're shooting or you're doing work, you just feel at peace, you feel at home while you're doing it. I don't feel like I'm actually laboring, actually enjoy it. And I think I kind of chase that feeling more and more of wanting to do, okay, I'm shooting for someone. Well, what if people are hiring me to run something? Oh, well, what if I could bring people on and make them feel what I'm feeling, to shoot? What if I could bring on a team and start creating teams? That'd be really cool. And I think it just drove me more and more to share my joy with other people and not just be so, I use the word gatekeeping again, but I just wanted to share what I could express. I think in order to spread your love with the craft, you have to, as you said, dig deeper and try to, expand and do more things. And I think that's kind of what drove me to do more.
Yeah, no, that does make a lot of sense. Cause I always look at it where it's I have all these feelings and emotions and things like that involved with what I do. If I can bring other people into that world and give them the same types of feelings that I'm feeling and kind of carry it forward, I think that's our goal. That should be our goal anyways.
Yeah, I agree. And I wish, I will say, I think majority of us feel that way. I wish more did, but I do think most of us do naturally feel that way and just maybe aren't in the position yet to share it with others like we want to. But I think we all kind of have the same, thought process as far as sharing our joy for, photography. I think I do it with Wheel Watch and Adaptive. That's one of the things I love. When I bring people on to shoot those events, I'm just so you know, you're going to cry. It's okay. But it is going to be the best experience of your life. And then every year they're Bruce, I had no idea this world existed. This is so cool. Thank you so much. I was that's what I want to hear. Just things like that. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm sure when you get the DM, like you were mentioning before, when you get the DMs of people that are just so over the moon appreciative, especially when it is something that has those types of emotions involved in it, that's not an everyday, CrossFit athlete that has photos taken of them all the time. It's no, we're going the extra mile for a certain group that may have been undercovered, whatever you want to call it. But
that's exactly what it is. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. With that too, curious as to your thoughts on why people are doing a little bit of the not necessarily bringing others along with them. And again, it's not the majority of us, but I think it is like kind of interesting to dive into that a little bit. Like, in my opinion, to kind of like frame it, like I feel like a lot of people just get lost in their work and they're really, really focused on their work, and they almost like don't have enough time, or like they're looking at it where what's the ROI of the situation, and they get too lost in a dollars and cents conversation as opposed to like a greater impact. What do you think?
I think, I mean, I would have to say you're spot on. I do think that a lot of people do definitely focus more on that financial part for sure. But also I think a lot of people who do focus on the financial part, like sometimes they're so focused on it, but they're really still not getting what they're worth or value in the first place. Like they think like, oh, it's all coming to me. And I was like, but you have I mean, sorry to burst your bubble, but like if you get a team and like lead a team, like that leads to so much more revenue for you, for yourself as a team member. They're like, oh, you worked on so-and-so's team. Oh, we'd like to bring you on that team too. Like we heard you were a great worker for them, but you've been so focused on being a one person show. Not saying there's not, I mean, you can do that, but you have to be able to work with others in order to do, I mean, as we know, bigger projects, bigger comps. Like you can't do it yourself, or else you're going to end up jumping off a bridge. Like you just can't. It's just too much to do. And I think too many people are focused on, and I honestly do think it goes back to the, I hate using the word again, but that gatekeeping and keeping that stuff to yourself. They don't want to, and I'm not going to lie, I struggled with it for a long time with people like Bruce. Like if you want to like do, but you're going to have to grow, you have to trust people to come and help you and bring people on and do like that. Cause we're scared to put our name on the line to have someone else shoot, right? Like we don't want, like, man, but it's not going to be DAW though. But like, I was like, but it's okay, man. You're representing it. You're helping people grow. You're bringing a team on, and then what clicks is that you'll do it one time, and the feedback will be amazing. And you'd be like, I should have done this so long ago. But you were so focused on, I don't trust anybody. I can't do this. I don't want anyone else tampering with blah, blah, blah. But it's not, it's completely opposite. It is so opposite. And I wish more people knew that. Like you said, there's a good crew of people who like, they're good at building, teams and stuff like that. But there's a lot of us who are very like me. I don't need anyone else, to do this. And in the long term, I mean, you will suffer for sure. You'll suffer. And like you said, the financial part, like I'm saying, you will, I mean, not just staying, but like my best returns are when I have a team. It's when I have a team because you take on bigger projects, which of course brings in more financial, gain for you. So I just wish people understand that more.
Yeah. And it does, like, even working on like bigger teams and bigger projects and things like that, what also helps with that is like the idea of networking. So like, if I work with you on something, like let's say if we're going to syndicate together, like I work on that syndicate team, next time a competition comes around, next time you have something, you might like my work from syndicate. And then all of a sudden now I have an additional gig, right?
1,000%.
Yeah. So it's like, it all works back around. I mean, I look at, we run a,
I think I lost you again.
Oh my gosh. Okay. There we go. We run a team out here, Arizona Desert City Classic. And every single person that's on that team, I've worked with in a different capacity, and you kind of bring them in, right? So it's like, I think everyone would be fine with me saying this on the team is like, some people are more of the developmental stage, right? Where they're still getting their reps in and all that kind of stuff. And to your point, those are the individuals, while yes, they're attached to your name, you're also bringing them along. So there are a little bit of those learning curves, and there are some instances maybe where, they're not obviously going to come out the gate and matching your quality of work. However, you invest in them, you invest time in them, they'll probably pass you up in a couple of years, right? I see it all the time.
I'm so glad you said that. That's so true. So true. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I am happy. We have the, at Desert City Classic, it's right on ASU's campus, right? So we have Arizona State University right there. We have kids that come on, volunteer, and work with us. And it's crazy. Year after year, we've had a couple kids have stayed with us for a couple of years. And the work that they did whenever they first came on to now is just crazy.
Like mind blowing.
Yeah. And what's really cool is because I work with them and like I've seen their work, see how they work, how they conduct themselves. I'm able to, you know, be like, anytime someone in the Arizona like filmmaker community down here needs someone, I'd be like, hey, here's a person that did really great work for me, you know, and kind of play that game there.
Yeah, and the thing is like, and you suggesting them, like you're speaking off true knowledge of working with that person. You're not just, you can actually speak on, you know, their character, how they were working with a team, you know. I mean, not like they're going to ask you those questions, but it's easy for you to recommend someone because you work with them, I mean, intimately, you know, as, you know, on your team. And it's, I know there's players of people I've worked with and I'm like, now they're off like, you know, doing bigger stuff. I'm like, I mean, remember that time I hired you, bro? Remember that?
Yeah. It's like, remember when I gave you that first shot way back when? Yeah.
Yeah. Remember when you were like, you pulled up like, wait, you had to borrow my lenses to shoot. And now you're out there, you know, 300 out. I'm like, come on, man. Yeah. I understand. I get that. It happens a lot. It really does.
Yeah. And it's so rewarding. I love every second about it. I think, you know, for the individuals that are building a team like yourself, like, are there certain intangibles you look for people, you know, outside of just like their camera skills that you find attractive or that would allow you to invest further in someone?
Yeah, I think I love witnessing big characteristics like eagerness. Like you can tell they're just, when they speak to you, they just want to learn. They're just excited to be a part of the event. And, you know, and it's not even like you need them to say that, but they'll say things like, hey, look, I mean, like if you can just, you know, throw me this here or like throw me a little bit here, or if we can find somewhere to stay, like you can tell they just want to be there and actually experience and gain experience, you know, shooting an event. And they want to be, I mean, like they want to be, you know, attached and learn from you. And it's also like almost like a pat on your back too. So I really like the eagerness. I'm a big vibes guy. Like I can usually, you know, talking to someone and knowing if they're going to, you know, we're going to mesh or, you know, how their personality is. I mean, that's a big thing too, but also, I mean, of course, you know, in this field, like we all generally know each other, right? Like it's kind of like we know of each other. So, when people reach out, like trying to be part of a team, like typically either I've heard of them or maybe someone else has told me like I've worked with that person, like they weren't great or, and I'm big on work ethic. Now don't get it twisted now. I have had some teams where, you know, there's been some, man, this is a wrong one. I don't know why I chose this one. You know, that has happened, but that's part of learning, right? Like you have to, I mean, and this hopefully either you end up picking up the slack or someone on your team steps up and, you know, picks it up. But I'm really like eagerness, asking questions. Just, of course, like, I mean, I would like to see some of the work. So, because sometimes you can see, and I'm sure you can see, like maybe, okay, the photo might not be as sharp or as tack sharp as you want it to be. But you can see like, okay, well, they know what they're doing. Like they know how to shoot. They have a good eye. Like you can see that they just need to tweak some things. And then, and also I think you probably agree with me on this. Like, I mean, shooting, there's times I've hired someone who has, their photos are immaculate and they can shoot, you know, whether it's engagements, you know, pose fitness photos, but we know competition, that's different. They're just different. It's like you said, it's very fast. I mean, and also, and I love to see how people shoot in shitty light. Like if they can, like, I want to see how they pull that together. I know there's plenty of times like we've been out, you know, shooting it, even CrossFit content. That's like, man, this light is horrible. I was like, well, you better figure it out. you better figure it out because no one's trying to hear that the light, you know, the light was horrible. Like just figure it out. So I love seeing how people can adapt and make adjustments on the fly or just, I don't know, just eagerness, man. Eagerness and hungriness. Like I just love seeing that. Like if you're doing that, I'm willing to give you a chance for sure.
Yeah. It's funny with the lighting. It's like, if you have someone that has shot at any type of CrossFit gym or gym as a whole, you know that no two lightings are ever alike. Like every
never.
situation is completely different. Yeah. So it's great. Like training ground, for sure.
Oh, for sure. It's like, oh, well, maybe I'll try it out. Like come to this gym, or like go to your local gym and like send me some stuff you've shot, or let me see what that looks like, or how's the lighting at your gym? Oh, it's not that good. Well, do me a favor, go cover a class real quick and and send me over something so I can see what your stuff looks like. And I mean, but our comp may be outside, but I was at Beach Town. It rained. They moved us inside in the gym, and it was not great lighting at all, but figured it out. So it's just good to know that your team is able to adapt,
Yeah, for sure. And I'd say one other item that kind of came to mind with all of this is also the ability to just get up and go and do it yourself. Like not have necessarily, if it's like a leading of a team, not necessarily being like, hey, go do this. It's like, you're already doing that and I don't have to tell you. I think that's a huge intangible.
I really don't. I think one of my, I mean, I know as a lead, like just, direct, but I love like when I can just be like, hey guys, look, you guys know how to shoot. You guys know what to do. Like go shoot and have fun, man. Like I'm not like, that's what I want to do. Like you have a question to ask me, that's fine. Or like, hey, we need to get this person yet. That you can have that stuff. But like, as far as shooting, like there's nothing better than being a lead and just being like, my team's got it. Or I'm sitting down, at my booth and I'm like editing a little bit and I'm like, I know my team has it. Like that's one of the greatest feelings ever. So good. Doesn't happen every single time, but it's a great feeling though. It's a great feeling.
Yeah. When it does happen and you see that immediate growth and that point of like, oh wow, they went and created that. And that's something that even it was like beyond my expectations or beyond I was even envisioning. And I think it's a very like fine line as far as like creative freedom and direction. How do you handle that? Like, as far as like allowing individuals to have that creative freedom, but also be like, hey, here's our structure in our field that we're playing in.
Yeah. So ideally, like if I'm working with, like we have our, like I'll give each person an assignment as far as what you're responsible for. I have a template or that I write up that I send out to everyone. So my people on my team, and I'm like, I want you guys to be creative and do what you guys do. Like I never want to hold you back from being creative, but our job and our assignments are first, right? If you get those, then you can have fun. But what I don't want is to be having a conversation at the end when I'm going through all the content and I see that the assignments weren't met or we didn't do because you're more focused on getting this athlete or getting this, it's like that wasn't even your assignment. And then it turns out that I got, 4 or 5 people with this same moment, you know what I'm saying? Which I was like, that wasn't the plan, guys. So I'm very firm on, our client is first and getting those deliverables done. And once we're all grown, we're all adults. Once you get that and you're confident with that, and even then, even getting those assignments, you can be creative getting those assignments. It's not like, you have to like, be vanilla with it. You can do whatever you want as long as you get that content. I'm just very firm in just making sure like that is client first, deliverables first, but you're always creative. You should always be creative no matter what it is, no matter what the assignment is. So I try to let them be open and fluid with it. And I don't really hold them back. In case like if there's someone who's like, oh, I want to do some video, I'm like, no, you're not doing any. Like you're not going to do any video, or your responsibility is atmosphere, vibe, details, things like that. And you can get creative with that. And once you get it, hey, go nuts. Just make sure you finish your assignments. It's really all I care about.
No, and I love that word. It's like, hey, you need to get this done. But once you get this done, then it's like, okay, you can go have fun and do the things that you want to do or get creative and things like that. Because I think that's not something I ever considered to do. So that makes a lot more sense. And that will probably help with the idea of making sure people don't burn out and all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, and it's one of those, there's nothing, there's always that moment where, you're going through all your deliverables and things are delivered to your client and you're like, hey guys, by chance did anybody get this? It's like, no, not me. No, I didn't get it either. I'm like, all right, well, that's great, guys. So now I either have to come through my footage or I'm trying to find something or, probably 90% of the time someone's going to be like, oh, let me double check. And then they find something, but you can tell it wasn't an intentional grab, right? We just happened to get it, right? So that's why I think it's really important to focus on those action items and those deliverables, and then check those off and then go nuts, you know?
When you're looking at like taking photos and things like that, do you have like a certain style, or like, is there a certain style that resonates with you? And then how does one even like create a style, thinking about like younger people coming up?
Yeah. It's such a good topic, because I think about like when I do the mentor and people like trying to develop their style, it's always like the problem is that while trying to create their own style, they're looking at everyone else's stuff too, right? And they're like, oh, that looks so cool. Like, I want mine to look like that. Then they'll see them, I want mine to look like that. But I do feel like creating your style, like there's a certain, because I went through it where I was like, clarity slider all the way up. I used to do that back in the day. And then it was like, oh, I like my colors to be like muted, and I do feel like, I'm trying to say this. I feel like as I look in the space and I see different styles, like when I see a style of someone shooting, most of the time I'm like, yeah, you know what? That does match them. Like, it just looks like, the type of stuff. And I'm pretty sure it came like organically. I don't think they like saw someone else's and were like, I want to make my photos look like that. They might have started doing that and they started tweaking something, and then, started like, oh, well, let me see how this looks. And then it just kind of it just clicks. I don't think anyone comes in saying, okay, I want my photos to look this way. I think first they're just like, I just want my photos to look good. I want to be sharp. I want to have good composition. I want to do things like that. And then people start playing with colors. And I do think they pull from multiple different creators, right? Like, I think I like how, their greens are muted. Maybe I should try that with mine. But I don't like how dark and moody their photos are, though. So I'm going to bring mine. I think we all kind of pull from different creators and kind of develop our own. And some do it faster than others. Some, take a long time. I know. And I think in my day, I feel like I didn't have as many people to pull from. So I think mine took a little bit longer, like over time, just kind of like, figuring things out. But I think now, like, it's like limitless of how many people you can kind of like admire and, kind of pull their type of influence into your work. But as a shooter, I just hope that ultimately, no matter what you do, like, you're doing it because you're happy of your work. You're not doing it to make someone else like your work. You know what I'm saying? Like, be happy and pleased and content with what you're putting out, because someone's going to like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's what you like and you want to produce, like, do that. You don't need to try to, change my style because, like, clearly nobody likes it. Like, you do you. Like, create your own style, be consistent, and work will come. But if you keep trying to change up, like, your whole feed's going to look like, what I'm saying? Like you hired a bunch of shooters to do your stuff, because like nothing looked consistent. Nothing is consistent. So you need definitely to dial it in. And I think it's one of those, I feel like it's almost like like when you're training in CrossFit, like you're trying to get dubs, trying to get muscle ups, whatever it is. Like, you just have an aha moment, right? Like, something just clicks and you start producing, you'll shoot this one event or this one shoot you'll have, you're like, this is it. Like, I love how all this looks, and then you just rock with that. And I think it's one of those things just happens. But it comes with consistency and, pushing forward and not getting down on yourself because, you don't have the likes or no one's really saying anything about your stuff. Like, just keep going forward. And we're all creatives. Like, we're all creatives in our own minds. So what you do is art, and it shouldn't matter what anybody else says about it.
No, that's beautiful. And that's so true, because, I look at even like, I was guilty of this early on, where it was like, you would see something done by someone and then it's like, oh, well, I got to go do that. I got to go do that exactly how they did it for some reason. Instead of like pulling a little bit of that and, like, to your point, gathering little pieces here and there. And then over time, you're able to develop a style. I look at it where for myself, like I first started out and I wanted to try to be like the highlighty guy and like, you know, do all that kind of stuff. And then I've had the realization past couple of years where it's like, I'd much rather be the guy that has some type of like audio and more of like for lack of a better way of saying it's the most overused term, like story, where the reel actually kind of like takes you through a complete journey as opposed to just like here's a slow motion type clip of someone doing a squat. Right. So knowing my strengths and what I like to do and what I like to create, it's like, all right, instead of me like just kind of dipping my toes, let's just go all in, dive deeper, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's like I said, that's probably, like you said, that was for over the past 2 years. And like, think about, that was your moment of realizing like, no, this is the direction I want to go. I want to do this. This is going to be me. This is what you're going to know me for. And some people are going to say yes, some are going to say no, but this is what I like doing, and I'm going to rock with that. So that's a good place to be in, man. It's a really good place to, I mean, I feel like we've all had like our in limbo moment where we're like, I don't know what direction to go. Like, I mean, even in the center, like, do I keep shooting CrossFit? Do I try other stuff? Do I not shoot comps? Do I, like what do I do? And I think once you come to the realization that, what you want your path to be, like as far as, okay, my goal is to, when I shoot comps now, I want to do more, like you said, I want to do more storytelling. I want to give the experience to the viewers of what this comp had. I don't want to do highlight stuff anymore. Like everyone does that. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to tell stories, and like coming to that realization and actually executing it. It's a beautiful thing. And then once you do it and you're like, okay, this is me. I mean, I'm sure that felt great. Like knowing that that's what you're going to do. And then you take that into now when you're shooting with intent now, right? Now you're on the floor. You're like, I have a story to tell. You're not just, oh, that looks cool, shoot it. Oh, that looks cool, shoot it. Like everything is intentional, which is, I think intentional is a word we can use in all facets of our life, right? Just with everything we do. And if you can, I mean, because there's probably I want to say maybe 3 or 4 shooters that I know personally. Like when I see them on the floor, you can see they're shooting with intent. Like you can just see, like you can see their head is turning and they're putting a story together, and that's where you want to be. And I think it's just an awesome place to be in your life. So good for you, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, it's still like definitely evolving. I'll be the first to admit I don't have everything figured out. I never will have everything figured out, and none of us will. None of us will. I still pull from whether you're this is the first time you ever done a CrossFit competition or whatever it is. Like I will pull something from you because different perspective. And it's I forgot where I was going to go, but I had a really good point. What happens in my mind often is I have too much coffee in the morning and my mind kind of goes a little bit crazy. I don't know if you
are you like a straight coffee drink, like no, like nothing, like straight black?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that too. Yeah, I love that too.
Well, it causes you to like slowly sip on it as opposed to like, dive into it, whereas some of these drinks, like, you can really like slowly nurse it a little bit. So, like
it's and also because it's probably so sweet, or you're just like, oh, like, no, I like that straight black go in my veins, man. Like, yeah, so that's what I like. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, when you decide to do like your story, and I'm gonna ask you a question, when you decide to do your storytelling process, like when you want to start doing that, was it because you felt that the highlight area was just, it was too saturated in the market that people were doing that? Okay.
1,000%.
Got it.
And it's not taking away from anyone that does do that, because I understand too on the back end, it's like, well, yeah, but I have this sponsor that I have to give this deliverable for, and they have this expectation. So there's like all these like little like facets, but I would pull up the feed and I would just see like, okay, like highlight. There's really no like, there's nothing that's contrasting that or like showing a different perspective. So like, obviously if a moment happens at an event, you can tell that moment in 20 different ways. You don't necessarily everyone has to tell it in the same way, or they're just kind of showing the moment. It's like, well, if I can get a little bit of soundbite beforehand, or I can set the scene a little bit and kind of bring you into that moment a little bit more on the front end, or take you out of that moment on the back end, like add that extra layer. It's like, that's a good way to like differentiate that. But I always look at it where I'm a people person. I love talking to people. I love hearing different perspectives and all of that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
I'd much rather try to grab something about the athlete's personality and kind of put it in there. Or, that's cool. It could be anything, right? It could be athlete, it could be brand, it could be coach. It doesn't matter. But like kind of get some of that so that people kind of get a little sneak peek into who that person is, as opposed to somebody that's just a, mindless robot that just is super fit,
Yeah, for sure. I agree. And I think that, and how can I say this? And I think your mentality of how you express that is your transition into why you do this, right? Like it's the same thought process. Like you just don't want it to be a face on the screen. Like you want people to identify with that person. Like, not like you're trying to tell their whole life history, right? But you want to at least have something identifiable to them besides them just being a CrossFit athlete and they're jacked, right? Like you want to tell more of that. And just like you're bringing traders on here, you want people to know like, oh yeah, that's BAW Media, or yeah, that's the black dude with the beard, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's more, you know what I'm saying? It's more of like, oh, well, damn, this is why I started shooting. Oh, damn, we have a lot more in common than I ever would have imagined. Like, oh, damn, he has the same thoughts I do. Or damn, he went through the same things I did, the things I'm going through right now. Like, I'm not alone in this. So I think it's a great, it's really, really cool you're doing this for sure.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. And it's really one of those things where a lot of people, like, they have friends, right? And their friends might, be really into basketball or this, that, and the other. And there might be someone that does what we do that doesn't have another friend like nearby them that does what we do. So like, they don't,
true. Yeah.
There's not that. So it's also that kind of thing too, where it's like, if we can, I hate the word like community because that's overused too, but like that idea, right? Of like everyone come together, and just be able to support each other. Like if I'm on a shoot and I'm like, hey, like this happened, like shoot a DM to whomever, and be like, or whatever it is, whatever the scenario, if I want feedback, whatever it is, like people should feel okay with doing that. And not feel as though, I know I don't want to keep going back to it, but the gatekeeping, right?
Thanks. It's unfortunate. Like it worries me that there are a lot of, wouldn't worry me, but I'm sure it's probably accurate. But that bother me that there's probably so many scenarios that have happened where a shooter was either on a part of a team or someone just starting and like all they had this question they wanted to ask, but they just thought it was so dumb and silly and thought that, people would either laugh at them or wouldn't give them an answer or they just kept to themselves. And meanwhile, their work suffered because of that question. So, I say this like to anyone, like just, you can ask, it's hard to say when there's some people who don't answer, right? But there's most of us will, we have no problem helping anyone, but you got to ask, we can't, we're not just going to go out and, I don't know, just tell you what you need. Yeah. What you need to know. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not going to stand up and give a seminar in the media room before we get started.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I think that, I just hope more people will reach out and, even after this, like I hope people too ask me questions like, oh, well, damn, Bruce seems like he will answer stuff. Like, yeah, I will. Like, I have no problem answering questions, and it's crazy. Every single time someone asks me a question, I answer, and they're like, man, I can't. Like, I thought you were going to be like, I thought you were going to say no. It's like I've asked people other questions, like I either get left on red or they say they don't want to answer or talk or anything, and I'm like, man, I'm sorry, it sucks, but hopefully I can help you. So I'm all for paying it forward.
Yeah. And I would say too, like, with all of this, like if you do send that DM, like be patient too, because scheduling is crazy,
Yeah.
And sometimes, like for example, this past weekend, I was filming Rim to Rim hike in Grand Canyon. So like I was in and out of service. Like I was filming I was on the job for 24 straight hours. Like it was just like, I was in it. Right.
Yeah.
So like if you send a DM and I don't respond to you, like it's not necessarily anything you've done or It just might be what's going on in my life or what I have going on. So having that idea of
that's very true.
Patience as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, that I'm glad you said that because I mean, like, there's plenty of times I've someone and I'll see it and it shows I read it, and then I get, and then I'm all shooting and I'm like, oh man, I think it happened to you. Even with this, I was like, oh, that's right, dude. I completely forgot. Like it's, but yeah, there's definitely, you're right. Patience is, I'm glad you said that. Yeah, because I'm guilty of it too. So.
Yeah, we're all guilty of it. Like sometimes, like you'll just be on, if we're sending Instagram DMs, I'll be on Instagram, and then my app will like crash or whatever, and then all of a sudden, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You try to like not respond.
I promise you, I did. They're like, I went to do it, and then something happened. Just in general, like it's part of the game for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't ask you. Are you a Canon shooter? Sony? You're Canon or Sony?
Sony.
What are you? Sony. Okay. All right. I thought that's what you were. Yeah, wasn't sure.
It's like so we have like an ongoing joke debate between me and Chris, who co-hosts whenever we do this in person, which we definitely have to do this in person someday.
Yeah, for sure.
But he's a Canon and I'm Sony, so we have that built-in rivalry. And like we joke about it. We're not actually like, diehard either way. He might be diehard Canon, but so yeah, it's a nice little ongoing back and forth.
Yeah, one of my closest friends, he's a Canon shooter too, so we always, kind of talk stuff back and forth. But yeah, it's a fun rivalry for sure. We're all out there doing the same thing, so it's great.
Well, I think too, like, as you can hear my son in the background, I do. My thing is like, it doesn't necessarily matter which he agrees which tool that you use in order to create something. Like the tool doesn't matter. The artist, it's the art itself. So like, can you talk about like your philosophy on that? And, for someone that's right now that's like sitting home, I got to buy this, or they watch a YouTube video and they're like, oh, I wish I had this tool. Like, what would you tell them to kind of like,
I mean, I would say, it's a disclaimer for sure here first. I'm guilty and probably still guilty of like, when something new drops and, working towards it, but I think in getting it, but I also think that now I think you'll get to a point where you realize like you have not outgrown the gear that you have. Like if there's enough, like if it's not limiting you from doing something, like I'm not sure why you're upgrading. Like I have, like I have A1. I'm like, do I need an A1 too? No, like it's, would it be dope? Absolutely. But I don't need to get one, but so back to your question, I would say that, I always say this, and I think I joke around with this a lot to a lot of people who, when I'm out about these OGs will be like, oh man, you ever shot film? And I'm like, no, but I wish I did, and I feel like learn with what you have and focus on that and, learning all the mechanics, like learning light, learning how to control and do different things with that gear. Because you'll be amazed. Prime example, like even I remember in, what games it was when it was still in Wisconsin, but Madison, but there was a shooter and like she was still shooting on, DSLRs and everyone was on mirrorless, right? And she was crushing everyone, like just because she knew her camera, she knew how it worked, she understood light, she knew composite, like she knew the things that make art and make, your work stand out. And it's like, it was a perfect prime example. It's like, dude, if you know what you're doing, you can create magic, pure magic. I'm not going to sit there and say, hey, does advanced technology help on a camera? Of course it does. Of course it helps. But like, if you don't know what you're doing, it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter. Like the whole, what is it, pray and spray and, and just, trying to, get whatever you can. Like, like shooters I see who like, they'll, I'll see them like sit on line, they'll see a point. That's that chilling just like that. And it's just like, they know, just they're getting their heat and then they're stopping. So I do think that as far as gear goes, as we know, it's an investment and you get your bare essentials of what you need. But learn to create with what you have. Don't think that this new gear is going to just make you so exceptional and so great, and it's going to change the game on you. I can tell you firsthand, there have been times where I had a previous model camera and I was like, I need to get that one. And I got it. My work didn't change. I mean, maybe did I feel more confident in like the tracking speed? I mean, maybe that, but as far as like my level of work, it's not like it changed drastically because I got a new camera. You know, I still shoot what I shoot and create what I create. It wasn't I mean, there are the levels. I mean, if you shoot on like a A7 II and then you go to A1, yeah, you're going to see some drastic difference. But I mean, but other than that, I mean, I think it's learn the fundamentals of what you have and then build on that.
When you're filming and knowing your style, and what that can also contribute to is faster turnaround times. So
yes,
not overshooting, not trying to be everything for everyone, knowing what you're trying to get out of a situation will allow for that quicker turnaround time, or that more impactful deliverable that you're able to hit. So, you know, often speaking strictly about like CrossFit competitions, like, you know, event one ends, is like event two is going to start in like an hour and a half. It's like, hurry up, get up event one stuff before event two starts, or, you know, day one stuff before day two starts, whatever it is. If you have the ability, or if you know exactly what your style is or what you're looking to gather before you get there and then before you get into it, it's a great way to fast track.
It's literally, it's a game changer. It is a night and day difference of like, I mean, what we know one of the worst parts of like just combing through footage, right? Just combing through footage and like and I'm sure you still do it. I mean, I still do it to this day. Sometimes I'll go through clips of like, why did I even film this? Like, what was I thinking? Like, why is this clip even included, you know, on this SD card? It makes no sense. So, I do think that, yeah, you're right. Shooting with that mind state of, like I said, intention and like storytelling, like, and this goes to, I mean, it's photos too, right? I mean, it goes both ways, video and photo, like getting your shot rather than just shooting any and everything, because now you're editing and turnaround processes. And then also now you don't even know what to pick because you have so much to pick from. So now your process is so much longer because you don't even know which ones to pick because you're combing through so much. So you're right. I mean, it's, there's nothing better than like, you know, that what you took, you will use and you want to use in your story. So yeah, that's great advice for sure.
Thank you. No, you know, as we wrap up here, anything that you're excited for the future, or things that you're looking forward to? It could be a project. It could be, I don't know, open-ended.
Yeah. If I'm being honest, man, I love a lot of I don't know if you talk about a lot of the nonprofit stuff I'm doing now. Like, I just love shooting that stuff. And like, you know, I like my Dream on 3 organization, like Sports Dreams for Kids, like doing that, and Autism Strong Foundation, Flashes of Hope. Like, I'm really loving and adaptive. I mean, adaptive pro, like those are the homies. Like I'll ride for them all day. But now I'm trying to focus more on things that actually I don't fill my cup a lot more, which I love doing. CrossFit will always be, I mean, that's where I started and I'll still continue to shoot it. But I just love, I have a New York Yankees dream I'm doing next month. So we're going to hang with Aaron Judge for a little bit, which I'm super stoked about.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. So, like things like that, like those type of projects, I'm really, really excited for. I mean, we are doing it. We're going to do I'll be at the game shooting for, I don't know if you noticed, but last year, Dream on 3, we had a kid we brought for the game. So like she walked T out on the floor. Like we had access shopping sprees. Like it was insane. CrossFit, they really turned out for them, for the girl, her name is Bailey. So this year we're doing,
I do remember her getting featured. Yeah.
Yeah. It was really cool. And, and this year we're going to we have a kid and we're doing it for the adaptive. So, because the kid's in a wheelchair, so we're going to do the adaptive games with them. So things like that, like it's so dope that like even my nonprofit work still came back into what started it all and what I love so much. So like being able to bridge like those two things is, I mean, that's probably the most joy I've had in a really long time, like being able to do things like that. So, yeah, I mean, that's honestly what I'm looking for, like these dream trips and like meeting these kids and these families that are overcoming these challenges, like doing stories like that and documenting it. I mean, that's honestly that's what fills my cup right now so much. So yeah, excited for those.
Yeah. And it speaks to a larger purpose. I'm sure like it re-energizes you in a lot of ways too.
Oh,
right? I mean,
man,
like,
it's like, yeah, it's like one of those things where it's like, you know, what am I complaining about? What am I mad about? Why am I like someone? And I'm like, you know, I'm with these kids and it's like, this kid is like, I mean, his life has changed forever. And like, he's laughing and joking and like, he's giving me pep talks like, dude, you're 11. Like, why are you telling me how to go about things? You know, and it's just, we can learn a lot from, I mean, even us as grown men, I mean, we can learn so much from, I mean, adaptive athletes, you know, kids who are dealing with, you know, rare diseases or, you know, adapting, you know, missing limbs, things like that. Are just, there's a lot we can learn. And it would put your life in a lot of better perspective for sure if you were able to experience that. So I would say if anyone in this field, like if you ever work with adaptive, and you do nonprofit work with your talents, like, I mean, share your gift with the world, man, because you can change so many other people's lives just by doing that. So, I mean, fitness is cool, but there's so much more you can do with your talent. So definitely explore that too.
Yeah. And it's all about where you can make an impact. Right. And
yeah.
You know, and all that kind of thing. So,
all right, man. Yeah, it's time. Yeah, that's it.
I was going to say, I think my son is letting us know that we got to wrap up here. So no, Bruce, I appreciate the time. It's been super cool to chat and definitely let's catch up in person, you know, at the next.
No, for sure. Yeah. I'd love to meet you actually face to face, man. That'd be really cool, man. So,
right. Yeah. Instead of like on a screen.
For sure.
I am only 6 foot, so don't expect, you know, sometimes whenever you do these things, like you meet the person and, he's like 6'5", or like, you know, she's like 4'11" or something. I'm just your average person, whatever, nothing special.
Well, I'm not that tall either, so yeah, we're okay. Yeah. Appreciate it, man.
Well, I appreciate the time.
Hey, thanks, man. Take care, dude.
Yep.
Well, that's a wrap on this episode. Thanks for tuning in to the Capture the Reps podcast. If you're a fitness creative and you found this episode helpful, please share this with a fellow creative and keep creating, keep learning, and keep capturing those reps. We'll see you next time.